In this mini lecture, I'm going to talk to you about how to test for certain organic compounds, such as carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. Carbohydrates are molecules made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen in a typical ratio of 1 to 2 to 1. Simple sugars, or reducing sugars, are monosaccharides, and that includes glucose and fructose. If we take a look at this slide here, glucose and fructose are going to be testing positive for a reducing sugar or monosaccharide, whereas sucrose, or a disaccharide, is going to test negative. This is what we call a positive and negative control for your experiment. In other words, a positive control shows what you should get as a positive result, and a negative control shows what you should get as a negative result. Carbohydrates that undergo an oxidative reaction are also called reducing sugars. Basically, these reducing sugars or simple sugars have a free aldehyde or ketone that reduces the weak oxidizing agent. Okay, and in this instance, it's copper, and that's what causes the color change that you would typically see. So cupric ions, the Cu2+, reduces to cupric oxide, and that's going to happen at a high pH. Okay, so basically how you perform the test is that you are going to take a small bit of sample, usually about 7 to 10 drops, half a ml, and you are going to add, I'm going to shrink this for a second, bring this to the front, you're going to add 1 milliliter of Benedict solution. Benedict solution is this blue solution. Okay, once you've added that, you're going to gently boil your test tube in water for 3 minutes, and it should be a rolling boil. Okay, once you do that, you are then going to observe the color change. Okay, if you had a positive result, okay, you would have a green, yellow, or orange color based upon how much reducing sugar was found in the actual sample. If you had a sample that had green, or that showed green, that would mean you had less reducing sugar than a sample, such as this one, that would show orange. The Benedict's reagent can be used to test glucose in urine. And they actually, in the olden days, they would boil a patient's urine using the Benedict's test to see if they had any presence of glucose. And this would be an indication of diabetes, especially during pregnancy. You can get gestational diabetes, and so this is often checked. Nowadays, we don't have to take a urine sample and boil it. Doctors would normally just take a urine sample, and they have these test strips which will react to any glucose found in the urine and would also turn it shades of green up to orange if positive. Next, I'm going to show you a video. Let me just delete this. Okay. 1 second. There we go. Of the actual test being performed.
Put all this over in them?
Yeah.
And you know it's 0.5 milliliters. What do you put 1 drop?
Okay, now obviously certain things that you would change, they definitely do not have enough sample in their actual test tubes, so you would definitely need more sample. That does not look enough to me. You also would want to make sure that you have a rolling boil. These sticks that you see, so if you take a look here, my pen out, these sticks that you see here, these are boiling sticks, and this is going to prevent your your beaker from overboiling. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to move on to the next test.